What's up everybody? So it is the last week of October and of course I'm keeping it creepy. Here are 10 serial killers in New York. Number 1, the torso killer. Richard Cottenham is known as the torso killer because after killing his victims, he dismembers their bodies, leaving behind only the torso. He has 6 confirmed victims between 1967 and 1980, although the number of victims is believed to be more between 85 to 100. He was convicted of murder in 1981 after being caught fleeing an attempted murder scene. There have been many books written about him and the murders. Number 2, the New York Zodiac Killer. The New York Zodiac Killer, also known as the Brooklyn Sniper, aka the Copycat Zodiac Killer, and finally just known as Eddie, is an American serial killer that struck New York City between 1990 and 1993. The man told police that he was walking in front of his house when Eddie asked him for a glass of water and then shot him and walked away. The man survived the attack, although he died 3 weeks later in the hospital. Eddie has killed 3 people and wounded 6 others. He was sentenced to 232 years in prison. Yeah, he ain't getting out. He ain't getting out. Number 3, Nathaniel White. Nathaniel White killed 6 women between 91 and 92. He confessed to stabbing all 6 women to death while he was on parole. White claimed that he found inspiration for his first kill watching the movie RoboCop 2. He said with the first person he killed, he did exactly what he saw in the movie. He was caught August 2nd, 1992 and was sentenced to 150 years in prison. 150 years. I guess he'll get out before the other guy. Number 4, the dating game killer. Alright, this one's gonna be a little long, so strap in. Rodney James Alkali is a convicted serial killer and rapist. He was sentenced to death in 2010 for murders he committed in California. He received an additional 25 years to life after pleading guilty to 2 homicides in New York City in 1971 and 1977. Wait, how if he was sentenced to death? That was overturned. Rodney preyed on women and children and would take pictures of his victims even before he kidnapped them, telling them that he was a freelance fashion photographer and that he needed photos to showcase his work. Women and children would just stand there and take pictures. It is not yet truly known the number of lives that Rodney has taken, as New York police have found hundreds of photos in Rodney's possession of missing people. Over 900 photos could not be released because police said they were too sexually explicit. However, 120 of those photos were released to the public in hopes of identifying the people in the photos. Several women have come forward already and identified themselves, and 6 families have even come forward saying they recognized loved ones that went missing years ago and were never found. 110 of those photos still remain unidentified to this day. There is a website if you look it up, and even a Facebook page dedicated to finding the people in the photos called Help Find Serial Killer Rodney Alkali's Victim. And finally, the reason he's called the dating game killer is because of his appearance in 1978 on the TV show The Dating Game. He even won, although was rejected backstage because the woman said that he was just too creepy. Good instincts! Number 5, the Son of Sam. David Berkowitz, also known as the Son of Sam, is a serial killer convicted of killing 6 people and wounding 7 others in July 1977. He was arrested just 1 month later in August 1977 for 8 shootings, which he confessed to all of them. He claimed to be obeying the orders of a demon manifested in the form of a dog named Harvey, which was his neighbor Sam's dog. Even after this, the courts still found him mentally competent and he was incarcerated in prison for murder. Yeah, you tried to get that insanity case, didn't work, huh? Yeah, that's what you get. Number 6, Crazy Joe. Yeah, this guy doesn't have like a crazy nickname, he's just Crazy Joe, that's all he got. Crazy Joe, whose real name is Joseph Nassau, is an American serial killer sentenced to death for the murder of 6 women, and he was also a suspect in the Alphabet murders. He killed 10 women between 1977 and 1994. He was finally caught and arrested in 2011 when his parole and probation authorities searched his home and found his handwritten diary, which listed 10 unnamed women and their location. He was given the death penalty. Good. Although he probably could have got away with it, but he's too stupid. He wrote down like everything he was doing. And why would you write them down though? Like, Were you gonna go back and get them and you just wanted to make sure you didn't forget? Like, I don't understand. Number 7, the Lonely Hearts Killers. Oh, how cute, this is a couple this time. Raymond Fernandez and Martha Beck are an American serial killer couple. They are believed to have killed as many as 20 people between 1947 and 1999. They became known as the Lonely Hearts Killers, not because they were a couple, but because they would meet their unsuspecting victims through the Lonely Hearts ads. Both Raymond and Martha were incarcerated and sentenced to death by electrocution. That's right, Friday. Number 8, Frederick Moores. Frederick Moores, while employed by a nursing home, killed 8 elderly patients by poisoning them. He was eventually caught, but he went to an insane asylum instead of a prison, which he also later escaped from the asylum. Within a 4-month period, an unusual amount of patients died in the nursing home between September 1914 and January 1915. He said that he would put his patients to sleep using chloroform. Then once they were asleep, he would pour the chloroform down their mouth using a cloth to gag them to make sure that none of the fumes escaped. He claimed to be putting them out of their misery. He even said that the superintendent also encouraged him to kill the more ill and elderly patients. He died the very next year in 1916. And that's what you get. Number 9, the Angel of Death. Richard Angelo, who became known as the Angel of Death, was a nurse at the Good Samaritan Hospital. Another nurse? What the hell? I'm never going to the hospital again. He was arrested in 1987 after it was discovered that he was poisoning his patients. He was convicted of murdering several of his patients and sentenced to 50 years to life in prison. He confessed to poisoning up to 35 of his patients, which 10 of them resulted in death. And his whole motive for doing the whole thing was that he wanted to be the hero. He said that he would wait till last minute when his patients went into cardiac arrest, then come by and save them in front of his colleagues. Dick. Number 10, Joel the Reaper. Joel Rifkin, also known as Joel the Reaper, killed 17 plus people in New York City and Long Island between 1989 and 1993. He was sentenced to 203 years in prison for 9 of those murders. He mostly picked women who were drug-addicted prostitutes, and after killing them, he would dismember their bodies, another one of these guys, dumping each part in another location completely across town from each other. He will be eligible for parole in February 16th, 2197. Yeah, I'm sure he's excited for that day. Sure. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. That's 10 serial killers in New York. If you did like the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to follow me on social media, on my Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. It's all SuperDaddyChris, one word. So hopefully you liked it. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what other kind of videos you'd like to see me do. I upload every Sunday, so if you want to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a video, then just click that little button right there, or the one in the corner. Is it this corner or this corner? I'm not sure yet. Just click those, okay? And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.